My name is Rachel Monroe. I am 35 years old, an automotive service compliance manager in Phoenix, Arizona, and at 10:30 on a Thursday morning, I walked into my brother's auto shop grand opening and saw my name on repair license documents I had never signed. Monroe Auto Works looked perfect from the street. Fresh black and red sign, polished floors, 2 cars on lifts, a row of toolboxes shining under new LED lights, and a red ribbon stretched across the service bay like the building had been rescued by hard work instead of forged paperwork. My younger brother Tyler stood near the ribbon holding a set of shop keys, smiling for a local reporter while his wife Vanessa live-streamed from the waiting area. My mother, Linda, stood beside him with tears in her eyes, proud of the son who rebuilt Dad's garage. My father, Patrick, leaned against the service counter, staring at the floor like the concrete might forgive him before I did. Then a staff member handed me a badge that said, Reception Support. Not compliance manager, not license preparer, not the person who paid $22,300 in penalties, rebuilt the warranty claim system, corrected 37 customer authorization errors, negotiated supplier credit, and kept the old garage from being fined into the ground. Reception Support. In my left hand was the red shop key my grandfather Frank had given me when I was 16. In my bag was a black compliance folder full of DMV emails, customer authorization forms, penalty receipts, supplier records, forged signature pages, and the final shop license verification packet that had landed in my inbox that morning because my name was listed as Repair Authorization Manager. Then my mother raised her voice in front of customers, mechanics, vendors, and the reporter and said, Rachel only answered phones. Tyler was the one who actually knew how to fix things. People laughed softly. Tyler smiled like a man who had already won. Vanessa zoomed in. I pressed the red key into my palm and looked toward the service counter, where DMV repair shop inspector Marcus Hale was holding a tablet with my forged license packet open. Before I tell you what happened when Marcus asked who signed the repair licenses and my brother dropped the keys, tell me this first. What time is it where you are right now, and where are you watching from? I want to know how far this story travels before my family understands that paperwork does not fix cars, but it proves who is allowed to touch them. My family had always treated the garage like Tyler's inheritance and my responsibility. Grandpa Frank opened the original Monroe garage in 1978 with 2 lifts, a cigarette machine by the waiting room, and a handwritten rule taped above the service desk. No repair starts without the customer's say-so. He taught me that before he taught me how to check oil. I was 12 when he made me file my first repair authorization form. I asked why a signature mattered if the customer had already said yes. Grandpa wiped his hands on a red rag and said, because memory gets expensive when a car leaves angry. I did not understand then. I understood later, after I watched grown men scream over unauthorized parts, warranty denials, emissions forms, mechanic certifications, and invoices no one could prove were approved. Tyler liked the tools. I liked the records. That became the family mythology. Tyler was hands-on. I was front desk. Tyler had talent. I had neat handwriting. Tyler worked under the hood. I answered phones. Nobody mentioned that I was the one who caught duplicate parts charges, fixed warranty claim errors, handled customers when repairs went wrong, renewed licenses, tracked mechanic certificates, and kept Grandpa's old shop from losing vendor accounts every time Dad forgot a deadline. Mom loved saying Tyler had grease in his blood. I had ink in mine, apparently, and in her mind, that meant I had never really worked. When Grandpa died, Dad took over the shop and let it decay slowly. Not the building first, the systems. Expired inspection forms, missing customer approvals, warranty claims submitted late, parts invoices unpaid because Tyler ordered whatever he wanted and Dad was too tired to argue. Tyler had charm, speed, and a gift for sounding confident when he was guessing. Customers loved him until they got a bill they had not approved or a comeback repair he did not document. I was 26 when I stepped in fully, not because anyone promoted me, but because the garage was about to get buried. I moved from the service desk into compliance at a dealership group, learned the real systems, then used every lunch break and weekend to fix Monroe Garage. License renewals, repair orders, emissions paperwork, supplier agreements, warranty access, customer authorization language, parts returns, dispute folders. I built the backbone while Tyler filmed himself replacing brakes for Instagram. The family praised the visible work. Tyler could post a 30-second clip tightening bolts, and Mom would comment, "Your grandfather would be so proud." I could spend 3 hours on the phone reversing a supplier hold so the shop could get brake pads by Friday, and Dad would say, "Thanks, kiddo," like I had picked up milk. When Tyler forgot to get written approval for a transmission job and the customer threatened to sue, I rebuilt the timeline, found the text authorization, wrote the response, and saved the shop from paying $4,800 out of pocket. Mom told the customer, "Tyler takes care of his people." I was in the office printing the settlement receipt. That was the Monroe pattern. Tyler made noise, I made proof. Tyler got applause, I got another folder. The worst part was that Tyler was not talentless. He was good with engines. He could hear a misfire in a parking lot. He could rebuild an old truck carburetor with half the parts missing and make it sound like music. But skill without records is a loaded lift. One missed authorization, one uncertified mechanic listed on a job, one bad warranty claim, one unsafe brake repair pushed out too fast, and the person paying is not the one smiling in the video. It is the customer driving home. Grandpa understood that. Dad forgot it. Tyler mocked it. When Tyler announced he was opening Monroe Auto Works, he called it bringing Grandpa's garage into the future. What he meant was that he wanted a new name, a better building, a social media launch, and access to the systems I had built. He said the old garage had too much baggage. He said Dad was tired. He said Vanessa could build the brand. He said I could help with the desk side. Desk side. I told him if he wanted my compliance system, vendor contacts, warranty setup, customer forms, or license packet, we needed a formal agreement, my role in writing, and no use of my name or signature without authorization. He rolled his eyes and said, "Rachel, you make everything sound like court." I said, "Cars become court when paperwork is wrong." For 3 months, I helped more than I should have because customers would be involved. I gave him updated repair authorization templates. I helped rewrite the estimate approval language. I warned him that all 4 mechanics listed on the license needed current certifications before opening. I flagged 2 that were incomplete. I sent him a clean customer intake form. I reviewed the warranty access setup. I negotiated a temporary supplier credit extension because he had already overspent on lifts and signage. I paid an old penalty tied to Monroe Garage because it threatened the new license transfer. Every email ended with the same line: "Do not submit my name or signature as responsible manager. I am not approving final license documents until I verify every file." Tyler never answered that line directly. Vanessa sent heart emojis and wrote, "We're so grateful for family." Grateful is what people say before they take more. Vanessa was dangerous because she understood image better than Tyler did. She made the shop look clean, masculine, trustworthy, local, and emotional all at once. She posted Grandpa Frank's black and white photo above the new service counter. She filmed Tyler holding the red shop key, even though it was mine. She captioned videos with things like, "3 generations of Monroe hands." She called the opening, "a family garage dream." She used my customer form in a reel and blurred the bottom where my template note still said, "Rachel Monroe Compliance Draft." I texted Tyler, "Take that down." He wrote back, "It's just content." I replied, "Content becomes evidence." He sent a laughing emoji. The morning of the opening, evidence found me first. At 6:58, Marcus Hale from the DMV Repair Shop Inspection Division emailed me a final verification packet. "Rachel Monroe, because you are listed as Repair Authorization Manager for Monroe Auto Works, please verify the attached license documents before today's opening inspection." I opened the attachment and felt the old family story turn into something criminal. My name was listed as the Responsible Authorization Manager. My signature appeared on repair license filings, customer authorization certification, mechanic certification attestation, warranty procedure acknowledgement, and emissions paperwork review. I had signed none of it. The signature was copied from an old customer dispute statement I had sent Dad years earlier. The upload history showed the files came from Monroe Auto Works' office computer. 2 mechanic certifications were still incomplete. Several pre-booked repair orders had deposits but no final signed authorization. 18 vehicle deposits had already been collected. 64 customer appointments were scheduled. Mr. Ellis Grant, a retired customer in his 70s, had a brake repair booked that morning. Brake repair. That was what made my anger go cold. I called Marcus immediately. He had the voice of a man who had stopped being surprised by fraud, but not by stupidity. I told him I had not signed the packet and had explicitly warned Tyler not to use my name. Marcus asked if I had records. I said yes. He said he would be at the opening. "Bring everything," he said, "and don't sign any family paperwork on site." That told me he knew exactly how these things worked. I packed the black compliance folder, DMV emails, my refusal messages, the forged signature pages, the original templates with metadata, penalty receipts, parts account balances I had paid, 37 corrected customer authorization files, warranty claim logs, supplier emails, mechanic certification gaps, texts from Tyler admitting he needed my system, one voicemail from Dad saying, "Can you just let him use your name until the inspection is over?" I had saved it because my family taught me early that love without records becomes denial by dinner. At 10:05, Vanessa intercepted me at the waiting room door. She wore a red blazer, perfect makeup, and a smile designed for live stream comments. "Before the ribbon, we're having everyone sign the family shop blessing board," she said. The top page had a glossy photo of Grandpa Frank and the words, "Keeping the Monroe Legacy Alive." Under it was a compliance acknowledgement confirming that I accepted responsibility for repair authorizations, warranty procedures, customer consent records, and license filings already submitted under my name. My signature line had a red arrow sticker. I looked at her. "This is not a blessing board." Her smile tightened. "It just confirms what you've already helped with." "I helped with drafts." Tyler appeared behind her, holding the shop keys. "Rachel, please, not today." "Then why did you put my signature in a DMV packet today?" His face twitched. "1 second. Enough." Mom rushed over before he answered. "Do not embarrass your brother in front of customers." I looked through the glass at 3 cars already lined up outside the bay. He used my name to open a repair shop. Customers are exactly why I'm starting. The shop floor filled fast. Customers, mechanics, parts vendors, a local reporter, Dad's old regulars, Vanessa's live stream audience, 2 supplier reps, a warranty account rep. The cars on lifts made the place look legitimate, which was the point. A blue pickup sat in Bay 2 with its wheels off. Mr. Ellis Grant stood beside it, one hand on his cane, watching Tyler explain brake calipers to the reporter. I knew Ellis. He had been Grandpa's customer before I was born. He trusted the Monroe name. That made me angrier than the insult ever could. Tyler gave a speech about legacy, grit, family, and rebuilding what Dad and Grandpa started. He thanked Vanessa for believing in him, Mom for always supporting him, Dad for teaching him, and even Rachel for helping at the counter back in the day. At the counter, back in the day. I was holding the license folder that proved his shop was standing on my name. Then Mom said her line. Rachel only answered phones. Tyler was the one who actually knew how to fix things. The room gave a warm little laugh. Ellis smiled politely. Dad stared at the floor. Marcus Hale walked in during the laugh. He did not smile. Before Tyler could cut the ribbon, Marcus stepped forward with his tablet. I need to verify the repair license packet before work begins. Tyler blinked. Of course, everything was submitted. Marcus looked at me. Rachel Monroe is listed as Repair Authorization Manager. Vanessa said quickly. Yes, Rachel helped us with all the paperwork. I stepped forward. I did not authorize the final packet. The room went quiet in layers. First the vendors, then the mechanics, then the customers. Tyler laughed like I had made a timing mistake. She means she helped with earlier versions. I opened the black folder and placed the first refusal email on the service counter. This says, do not use my name or signature. Then I placed the forged license page beside it. This is what you uploaded. Marcus compared the pages on his tablet. The signature in the DMV portal was uploaded from the shop office computer. It was not verified directly through Rachel Monroe. First proof slap. Dry, official, perfect. Mom jumped in. This is a family business. Rachel has always handled phones and forms. I looked at Marcus. Please open the mechanic certification section. Tyler's face changed. The warranty rep leaned closer. Marcus tapped the file. 4 mechanics listed as certified. 2 certification numbers valid. 1 expired. 1 missing final verification. Tyler said, they're experienced. Marcus said, that wasn't the question. I almost smiled. Inspectors and title clerks and auditors all share one gift. Exact questions make liars sweat. I pulled out the email I sent Tyler 2 weeks earlier. Do not list Manny or Chris as certified until updated documentation is complete. I placed it beside the DMV filing where both men had been marked ready. Manny, one of the mechanics, raised his hand halfway. I told Tyler my renewal was still pending. Tyler shot him a look. Manny dropped his hand, but not before the room saw. Second proof slap. This one came from inside the shop. Then Ellis Grant spoke. Is my truck safe to work on today? That question cut through every family lie. He was not asking about jealousy, paperwork, or who loved Grandpa more. He was asking whether the vehicle that carried him home would be handled by a shop that had opened honestly. Marcus looked at the work order. Brake repair scheduled, deposit collected, final written authorization not complete. Ellis turned to Tyler. You told me Rachel had checked everything. Tyler swallowed. She helped set up the system. I said, I never approved this repair file. Third proof slap. This one had brakes attached. Vanessa lowered her phone. Too late. The live stream had already heard enough. Mom grabbed my arm near the counter. You are destroying your brother's dream. I looked at her hand until she released me. He put my name on a license. He needed help. Then he should have asked. You always make everything legal. I held up Grandpa's red key. Grandpa made everything legal because customers drove away in the cars. Mom hated that. Grandpa was the one person she could not easily rewrite in that room. Dad finally moved. He stepped away from the wall and looked at Marcus. Rachel kept the old garage legal. Mom turned sharply. Patrick. Dad did not stop. She paid the penalties. She fixed the warranty system. She handled the disputes. His voice was weak, but the shop heard it. Tyler stared at him like betrayal had arrived wearing work boots. Dad looked at me. I should have said that sooner. I said nothing. Late truth does not get applause. It gets filed. Marcus asked Tyler the question that mattered. Who uploaded Rachel Monroe's signature? Tyler looked at Vanessa. Vanessa looked at the blessing board. Mom looked at Dad. Dad closed his eyes. The Monroe avoidance chain was complete. Tyler said, Vanessa handled the office upload. Vanessa's mouth opened. Golden sons always know where to throw the first wrench. You told me she agreed, Vanessa whispered. Tyler snapped, Not here. Not here was always where the truth had been waiting. Marcus placed the shop license into hold status pending verification. No customer repairs could begin under the disputed packet. Pre-booked appointments had to be paused or refunded. Supplier credit tied to the license approval had to be reviewed. Warranty access was frozen. Mechanic certification documentation had to be corrected. Customer authorization forms had to be rebuilt and reissued. The ribbons still hung across the bay, bright red and useless. Customers started asking questions immediately. One woman wanted her deposit back. A vendor asked if the parts order scheduled that afternoon was still valid. The warranty rep stepped outside to make a call. Ellis Grant looked at Tyler for a long time, then took his keys off the counter. Your grandfather never touched my truck without a signed order, he said. Then he walked toward the door. That hurt Tyler more than any fine could have. Grandpa's customers were the audience he actually wanted. The confrontation moved into the office because Marcus needed statements. The office still had Grandpa's old clock on the wall and a new neon sign Vanessa had installed that said, Built, not bought. I almost laughed. Marcus opened the DMV packet on his tablet. Present were Marcus, Tyler, Vanessa, Mom, Dad, me, Manny the mechanic, and the warranty rep. Marcus laid it out. Forged signature, unverified authorization manager, incomplete certifications, customer deposits collected before license clearance, warranty procedure submitted under my name. Then he asked Tyler, Did Rachel Monroe sign this repair license packet? Tyler stared at the desk. She helped with the system. Marcus repeated, Did she sign? Silence. He waited. Waiting is a tool. Finally, Tyler said, No. One syllable. Not enough. Official enough. Vanessa started crying. I thought family approval counted. Marcus said, Family approval is not a repair license. I wrote that one down in my head for later. Mom said, This is ridiculous. Paperwork does not fix cars. I looked at her. Paperwork proves who is allowed to touch them. Manny nodded slightly. That small nod mattered. Workers know when the shop is being held together by someone who does not get thanked. The next hour was all collapse. Not dramatic flames. Administrative collapse. Repair schedule paused. Customers notified. Vendor deliveries held. Warranty login frozen. Supplier credit under review. The reporter left with more story than he expected. Vanessa deleted the live stream. Deletion is not disappearance. I had screenshots. Marcus had the packet. Customers had heard it live. Tyler found me near Bay 2 after most people left. You got what you wanted, he said. I looked at the empty lift. No, I got what you filed. He stepped closer. You could have pulled me aside. I emailed you 8 times. You know what I mean. Yes. You mean I should have protected your image after you used my name. His jaw tightened. You were never a mechanic. No, I said. I was the reason mechanics could legally get paid. He laughed bitterly. There it is. You think forms make you better than me? No, I think forged forms make you dangerous. Mom called me that night 24 times. I answered none. She texted that Tyler was humiliated, Vanessa was sick, Dad was upset, and Grandpa would never forgive me for stopping the shop from opening. I replied with one photo, Grandpa's old rule above the service desk. No repair starts without the customer's say-so. Then I muted her. The formal review happened the following week in a state office that smelled like printer toner and stale coffee. Marcus sat at the head of the table. Tyler came with Vanessa and a lawyer he probably could not afford. Dad came with a folder of old Monroe garage records. Mom came to glare at me. Marcus reviewed the findings. Rachel listed without verified consent. Signature uploaded from shop office. Mechanic certifications incomplete. Customer authorization forms submitted as approved before verification. Warranty access tied to disputed manager listing. Tyler admitted I had not signed. Vanessa admitted she uploaded the packet after Tyler said I had agreed. Mom tried to say family businesses run on trust. Marcus said, customer vehicles run on documented authorization. I loved that sentence so much I nearly smiled. The shop was not permanently dead. Real life rarely gives clean endings that fast. It was placed under license hold until documents were corrected, mechanic certifications verified, and customer forms reissued. Supplier credit was reduced. Warranty access required a new responsible manager. Tyler had to refund several deposits. Ellis Grant took his truck to another shop, which damaged Tyler more than the reporter's article did. The article was careful. Local auto shop opening delayed after disputed license filings. It did not say forged in the headline. It did not need to. Everyone in that room knew. I did not take over Monroe Auto Works. My family expected me to fix it because that was the old pattern. Break it, cry, hand it to Rachel. Not this time. I offered one formal option. Tyler could hire me through a written compliance contract, pay my rate, correct public claims, remove my name from all filings, and rebuild the system properly. He refused for 2 days. Then supplier credit stayed frozen, and the warranty rep stopped answering him. He signed. That invoice felt better than revenge. 3 months later, the shop opened for real. Smaller schedule, corrected license, verified mechanics, clean customer authorization forms, warranty access under a properly named manager. No grand ribbon this time, no live stream. Ellis Grant came back eventually, but only after Tyler personally apologized and showed him the signed repair order before touching the truck. Grandpa would have liked that part. I built something too. Monroe Shop Shield began as a checklist for small garages. Verify repair licenses, document customer approvals, track mechanic certifications, separate warranty claims, confirm emissions paperwork, protect supplier accounts, and never use someone's compliance credentials without written consent. Then it became workshops for family shops and independent mechanics. I placed Grandpa's red shop key on the table beside a blank repair authorization form and said, "A good mechanic fixes the car. A good shop protects the customer before the car ever goes on the lift." Mechanics listened. Some rolled their eyes. Then I showed them how one missing signature could kill a business. They stopped rolling. My mother still says I embarrassed Tyler. I say, Tyler forged my name. Only one of those matters to the DMV. Dad now tells people I kept the garage alive. He says it late, but he says it. Vanessa no longer films me. Tyler and I are not close, but the shop is safer than it was under the banner. He still fixes cars better than I ever could. I still protect records better than he ever wanted to admit. Both things can be true. The red shop key hangs in my office now under Grandpa's old rule. No repair starts without the customers say so. My family invited me to the opening as the sister who just answered phones, because they thought the person holding the wrench mattered more than the person holding the authorization. They forgot that customers trust more than tools when they leave their keys on a counter. They forgot that brakes, warranties, parts, emissions, deposits, and repairs all leave records. They forgot that a family garage does not survive on grease alone. So tell me, if your family forged your name to open a shop and called you jealous for stopping it, would you stay quiet so the ribbon could be cut? Or would you open the black folder and let the records protect every customer waiting in the bay?